Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Sunday. Oh my God, I was gonna say Wednesday, but it's definitely not that. This has been an interesting weekend, everyone. So a lot of things going on. Earlier I was saying in videos that I was going to a baby shower, which I was fully anticipating going to a baby shower, sending my friend Ashley all of the love to her new baby, Jason, and our friends ended up going. I had to work a little bit, so that kind of sucks. However, like things happen. But yesterday we went on a fishing charter. Just a lot going on, but I don't think that you guys even give a shit about what I have going on. So, we're going to talk about the Real Housewives in New Jersey, Dolores Catania. I was going to say Dolo, but Dolores Catania, in case you guys don't know her little nickname, and Teresa Giudice and Joe Gorga and Joe Giudice and boxing matches, Switzerland, and everything in between. So before we do all of the YouTubey things, smash the like button, show some love, and let's jump right in. So where do I start? Probably with the Dolo. Now that I've told you, you fake like this Birkin, Dolo Dolores Catania with Mr. Polly O'Connell. Yeah. Well, she's addressing a lot, including the Switzerland label and some of the health concerns that have been brought to the surface. So she refuted the notion that she played a neutral role among her Real Housewives of New Jersey castmates. Actually, I'm guilty of saying that as well, so I apologize, Dolores. She emphasized that she had very active involvement and support, saying, I have stood there and I have stuck up and answered for my friends and translated for my friends. And she also expressed frustration over being labeled Switzerland, a term that she says is bloggers' comment that gained traction. I have said that, so I apologize. I never really thought that it was a derogatory claim. I kind of always thought it meant that it was actually something that somebody said to me in high school. Because in my high school, it was like total Mean Girls, right? Where you had the rockers, you had the goths, you had the preppy ones, you had the fashion whatever, you had the assholes, the addicts, the whatever. And I would just like bounce around to all of the tables and see everybody. And this one guy, Bradley McBrayer, said to me at one point, he was like, "Oh my God, Adam, you're like miscellaneous. Like you talk to everybody." And it always stuck with me. And that's kind of what I think about Dolores. Is like, you're very miscellaneous. Do I think that she's going to let somebody run her over? No. She still has Dolo from Patterson in her and she will chuck. However, she's going to give you a chance. And that's what I like about her. That's kind of what I was leaning into. But now that I know it pisses her off, like I'm not trying to piss her off. Anyways, she did give some subtle shade at some of her castmates because she discussed her role and hinted at underlying tension, saying it's better than being called what some other people are called, pretty much suggesting that other cast members might have more negative reputations, which she is not wrong. I mean, she did say this. It was on the Get Real with Kim D podcast. If you guys don't know, she is definitely friends with Kim D. Nothing to say over here about Kim D. But I do want to make sure that you guys know where you can find the podcast. So Get Real with Kim D. There you go, Kim. And that's when she said, "Who's Switzerland? I've stood here and stuck up and answered for my friends and translated for my friends." And she also said, "I have done things that nobody else has done for each other or me." She's not wrong about that. And I'm the Switzerland one, but I can't fight the world. And that's what people wanted to peg me. Some fucking jerk off blogger, however many years ago, called me that and it stuck. Guess what? Call me worse. There needs to be a neutral country to bring people together. I think that's Switzerland, actually. Anyways, at one point, she threw some shade. She said, "You know why I didn't fight Switzerland? Because I'm not offended by it. It's better than being called what some of the other people are called." On top of that, it was earlier this month where Dolores did reveal that she was hospitalized. Doctors had to shock her heart, which we love Dolores. Nothing can happen to her ever. We love Dolores and her family and everything that she does for the, like her community, the animal. Oh my God, I love Dolo. She said, so recently my heart was beating out of my chest. And that's what she said on Two Teas in a Pod. She said it felt like a flutter, it felt like a butterfly, and then it goes away. Well, it started to come more frequently. And then I got a pain from the middle of my chest to my shoulder when I was driving one day. And I was like, that's not right. And it wouldn't go away. And I decided to go to a cardiologist. And that they revealed that she's an AFib. Now, AFib is atrial fibrillation. So you're sort of a walking stroke. You can have a stroke. So many people just ignore that. So I'm telling everybody, if you have those flutters in your chest, go see a doctor. They kind of shocked my heart and cauterized it. That's actually kind of scary because for me, just remember that I'm saying this on here. I have those all the time where the other night I couldn't go to bed and I didn't go to bed until like 5:30 in the morning. And it wasn't the caffeine. I haven't been drinking a lot of caffeine. And my heart was just pounding outside of my chest. And I was laying up against Jason and it kept him up because of how hard it was pounding. And all Jason said to me was like, please don't die on me. And I was like, what? Like, don't die on you. And he's like, do you need to go to the hospital? And I was like, I'm not fucking going to the hospital. No, I'll die on you. But that's stupid. And I was being stupid. I'm just like afraid to go to the hospital. But it went away, so we're good. But yeah, definitely get checked. Don't listen to me. I'm a moron. Now, on top of that, Teresa Giudice also accused Joe of being fake towards Luis Ruelas. Obviously, she's calling him inauthentic. She said that Joe was pretty much faking the support for her relationship with Louis, and she claimed that Joe's demeanor changed once Louis began appearing on New Jersey, saying that when he originally started praising Louis, it was so fake. But Gia also chimed in with her observations, and she said the same thing, saying that Joe's attitude shifted dramatically when Louis joined the show. And then she stated that the second Louis actually entered the chat, the second he was on the Real Housewives being filmed, it was like a flip switched with Joe. That's interesting. Obviously, I'm not going to refute that. Like, if people are like, Adam, what do you think? I mean, I wasn't there, so I would love to sit there and listen to like Joe, Melissa, Gia, and Louis and Teresa argue this, but I don't really have a thought. I don't know, So, on top of that, Teresa did propose a celebrity boxing match between Joe Gorga and her ex-husband, Joe Giudice. She expressed a lot of enthusiasm for the idea, almost kind of like laughing, suggesting that Joe would body slam Joe Gorga and that the proceeds could compensate for her past hardships. No, girl, a celebrity boxing match, well, not always, but usually we go to charity. You know what I'm saying? But if she had any regrets over a past scene, she reflected on her time on the Real Housewives in New Jersey, and she did mention regretting a particular scene involving a jacuzzi during a family retreat. And she said it was cringe, especially considering the events that transpired during that episode, which I was like, what were the things that happened in the episode? But she said the jacuzzi scene this was Gia. The jacuzzi scene with your dad, I think that's cringe. Yeah. Yeah. I had clothes on and I had a strapless bra, and that was like after a fight with your dad and my brother, after he, flipped him over and should have flipped him out of the window. Yeah. I mean, that could be a cringe scene. Okay. All right. Honestly, not mad at what Teresa's saying. I'm digging it. All right, guys, I'm going to hear what your thoughts are. Pop off in the comment section. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. I don't know where I put my little Lumify for my one bum eye with no contact and my other eye that has a contact. So I'm like this, like Quasimodo and shit. But that's okay. It's not even like 12:30 here. So we'll get our shit together. Love you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.